A train station, a place of routine, of passing strangers and ordinary lives. But this one in Barcelona is different, and the truth is far worse. At first, it feels normal. People rush by, lost in their thoughts, until a strange, rhythmic sound begins to echo from the darkness of the tunnel. And it's not just a sound, it's a vibration, growing stronger every second, twisting the air itself. And when it reaches you, it's already too late. The atmosphere in the train station feels completely off. Sebastian, a man standing in the crowd, senses the vibe is wrong immediately. He thinks about leaving, his survival instincts screaming at him to run, but he hesitates just a little too long. The people nearest the tunnel begin to react to the chilling sound. They are visibly transformed right before his eyes. Their expressions empty out. Their eyes lose focus, losing everything that made them human. Then, without a single word or a scream, they start throwing themselves onto the train tracks. As the train approaches, they don't move away. They walk toward the cold metal as if they are hypnotized by a force they can't understand. In the screaming chaos that follows, Sebastian nearly falls onto the tracks himself. He miraculously manages to keep his balance, narrowly avoiding a disaster that would have ended his story right there on the concrete. His phone rings. It's his wife, her voice trembling with a desperate fear, urging him to come home immediately and pick up their daughter Anna from school. As the world around him turns into a nightmare, Sebastian witnesses his own co-workers taking their lives right in front of his desk. He flees the office, his heart hammering like a trapped bird. Outside, the city has fallen. A man suddenly drops from a skyscraper and lands on Sebastian's car, destroying it on impact. Barcelona has descended into absolute, brutal chaos. People are running in a blind panic, vehicles are speeding out of control, and accidents are erupting on every corner. Somehow, Sebastian manages to escape the wreckage and rushes to Anna's school. When he arrives, the atmosphere is cold. The staff is dead and the building is in ruins. Fires are burning through the classrooms and children are frozen in fear, staring at things they shouldn't see. He grabs Anna and shields her, promising to keep her safe as they make their way through the destruction. On the way out, a priest stops him. The priest looks at the sky and tells Sebastian that what is happening is a divine gift, a miracle from God. But Sebastian has no interest in miracles or gods. He only wants to keep his family safe. He pushes past the priest and continues on. Outside, he finally spots his wife in the distance. But just as they are about to be reunited, a speeding car comes out of nowhere and strikes her. She doesn't survive. The light in Sebastian's world goes out, leaving him alone in the dark. Fast forward 9 months. The world is a graveyard. Sebastian and his daughter Anna are spending time together in an abandoned skateboarding stadium, a place that used to be full of life, but is now just concrete and silent. Their peace is shattered when they hear a noise and flee, only to be ambushed by a group of blind robbers. These men are desperate, and they steal all of their food. Though he's hurt, Sebastian tries to fight back, but Anna stops him. Later, he thanks her, realizing the attackers were just starving and lost. This is the new reality, man against man in a world where you can't even see your enemy. On the radio, a constant cold warning plays. Mysterious, strange entities are outside, and everyone is advised not to look directly at them. These creatures can control minds and cause people to harm themselves the moment they catch a glimpse. Sebastian and Anna cover their eyes and step out into the ruins. He approaches some strangers who also have their eyes covered with cloth and asks if they have any food, claiming he hasn't eaten in days. At first, they hesitate, but Sebastian tells them he is an engineer. He knows the location of his company's generator, which can provide electricity and heat, the ultimate tactical advantage in a world without power. Suddenly, the strange energy of the entity aura begins approaching them. Terrified, the group decides to take Sebastian with them. They lead him to their secret facility, a sanctuary where many survivors are hiding. One of the men, Marcial, notices Sebastian's injury and tells him to see a doctor named Liliana. She treats Sebastian's wounds and asks what happened. He lies, saying he got into a fight with some thugs. Later, all the survivors gather around a fireplace. A blind man begins to tell his story, explaining that the entities nearly caught him, but he blinded himself with a knife to escape their influence. He also mentions that the entities mark their victims with a strange eye symbol, But as night falls, the spiral turns brutal. While everyone is asleep in a bus, Sebastian suddenly starts the vehicle. Liliana asks him why he's turning it on, but Sebastian coldly says that everything will be okay and hits the gas. The others wake up and try to stop him, but he grips the wheel tightly, destroying the facility and everything in his path. The bus crashes and flips over, injuring everyone. At that moment, the entities arrive. Martial, heavily injured, stumbles out and accidentally looks at them. He immediately takes his own life. Liliana steps out, trembling, keeping her eyes shut. Sebastian calmly tells her not to worry and forcefully opens her eyes with his fingers. She catches a glimpse of the creatures and dies instantly. Sebastian believes he sees something beautiful, leaving their bodies. It is then revealed that Anna is merely an illusion of Sebastian's mind, a voice the entities are using to control him. This Anna praises him, calling him a savior and telling him he did the right thing. The trauma twisted Sebastian's mind, making him one of the seers, people who believe the entities are beautiful, unaffected by the suicidal compulsion others experience after seeing the entities. He believes he is an angel, but in reality, he is a predator. Sebastian has already moved on to find his next victims. He notices a woman entering a pharmacy with her eyes covered. She introduces herself as Claire. Sebastian begins repeating his usual lie, claiming he's starving but knows where the generator is. Soon, two of Claire's companions, Rafa and Octavio, arrive with their two dogs. They are suspicious, but Claire is intrigued by the generator and insists he might be useful. They take Sebastian to their hideout, a secured nuclear bunker. Inside, Sebastian meets Sophia, a young German girl. In Sebastian's mind, the illusion of Anna warns him not to reveal the truth and urges him to get them outside as soon as possible. He follows her advice and admits he made up the story about the generator. Blinded by anger, they prepare to throw him out. But Sophia intervenes, speaking in German. None of them understand her, but Sebastian translates, claiming she said not to throw him out. This surprises the group because until now, no one even knew where Sophia came from. Sophia begins to share her story with Sebastian, translating. She explains how she and her mother were separated during the panic. They heard a radio broadcast about a safe place in the mountains, a castle sitting on a peak. Claire suggests it might be Monuit Castle. The group debates whether to head toward the castle. Sebastian, influenced by Anna, argues that it's worth trying. Roberto disagrees, warning that it would be a suicide mission, but the majority choose to go. That night, Sebastian sees the shadowy presence of Anna again. Under her manipulation, he quietly cuts the dog's ropes, planning for chaos to erupt the next day. As morning brings turmoil, the entities arrive. The dogs break free, causing total confusion. The moment the entities appear, everyone relives their most terrifying memories. Rafa frantically searches for his dogs, removes his blindfold, and smashes his head into a car windshield. Roberto is bitten by one of the dogs. The group is falling apart. Claire turns to Sebastian and asks what he heard during the attack, but he cuts her off. He finds Sophia sitting alone, crying, and offers her a locket, the same one he once gave the real Anna. The scene shifts to a memory from 7 months earlier. Sebastian is celebrating Anna's birthday when the priest from the church breaks in. He takes Anna to the rooftop and forces her to open her eyes. She falls under the entity's control and throws herself off the edge. Sebastian is shattered. He makes eye contact with the entities, and that single moment of trauma is enough to change him forever. Back in the present, Claire, who is a psychiatrist, realizes Sebastian is hearing an illusion. She tells him what he's hearing is a lie used by the entities to manipulate his mind. Sebastian is visibly conflicted, but a scream from Roberto interrupts them. His infection has worsened, and they need antibiotics. Claire, Sebastian, and Octavio go to search for a pharmacy. In the pharmacy, the feeling turns desperate. Anna's voice whispers in Sebastian's mind again. He tells Octavio the windows are closed, and it's safe to look. Octavio removes his blindfold for a brief moment, sees the entities, and repeatedly hurts himself until he dies. Sebastian watches in horror. Unlike the others, he doesn't see Octavio's soul rise. He feels deep regret. He realizes he is not a savior. He is a wolf. As they venture outside again, they encounter a group of seers led by the same priest who killed Anna. In the chaos, Roberto and Isabel are overtaken. Meanwhile, Claire discovers Sebastian's special goggles. The truth hits her. Sebastian has been lying the entire time. He is with the entities. She takes Sophia by the hand and flees. Sebastian continues to hear Anna's voice, whispering that only 2 more need to die for their reunion to be complete. He follows them to the ceiling of the bunker, where Claire falls and loses consciousness. Now Sophia stands alone in front of Sebastian. Anna's voice urges him to remove the girl's blindfold. He reaches out, nearly giving in, but emotion overwhelms him. He can't do it. He sees his own daughter in this girl. He embraces her. Something inside him changes. For the first time in a long while, he begins to feel human again. Sebastian goes back to Claire and Sophia, expressing true remorse. He tells them he was deceived. He truly believed he was chosen, but now he realizes it was all a lie. He only wants to help them survive. On the other side, the seers begin pursuing them. Sebastian leads Claire and Sophia toward the mountain castle. One of the seers attacks him, pressing fingers into his eyes to blind him, but Sebastian pushes her away. He rushes Claire and Sophia into a car and drives. Eventually, they reach the base of the cable lift tower. Sebastian positions the car at the entrance and sets it on fire, blocking the seers. He tells Claire and Sophia to go on without him. He stays behind to delay the priest and his followers. Enraged, the priest calls out to Sebastian, claiming he was chosen for a higher purpose. But Sebastian refuses to be a slave anymore. He tells them he doesn't believe in their false god. Sebastian fights the priest in a fierce battle. Blood flows from his body, but he refuses to give up. He will sacrifice himself for them, for his lost daughter. This is the breaking point, the moment where he finally stops being a pawn and starts being a father again. As Claire and Sophia reach the safety of the castle, Sebastian takes his final breaths. The real image of Anna appears to him in his last moments, embracing him gently as he slips away. Claire and Sophia finally reach the safety of the castle, where Sophia is reunited with her mother. It's a rare moment of peace in a brutal world. But the laboratories of the safe zone reveal a dark secret. Scientists are studying seers, hoping to understand why they react differently to the entities. Some researchers suspect severe trauma may play a role, but no one truly understands it. The hard truth is that the world didn't end because of monsters. It ended because our own grief was used against us. We think we are being led to a miracle, but we are just being led to the slaughter. We spend our lives looking for a savior, never realizing that the person who promises us peace might be the one holding the blindfold. Sometimes, the only way to see the truth is to stop looking at the light and start looking at the shadows we leave behind. If you enjoyed this descent into the blind apocalypse, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We've got even more unforgettable journeys waiting for you. Stay tuned. See you in the next one.